Hello, students of class 7th. So, today we are going to learn a new chapter in English grammar, that is English first, and the chapter's name is punctuation. Alright, so there are many different punctuation marks, and each punctuation marks emphasize on different things in a sentence. We'll come to know the meaning of the different punctuation marks or the use of different punctuation marks in a sentence. So, what do you mean by punctuation? Here it is given the definition. Punctuation means the right use of putting in points or stops in writing. Why the right use of putting in points or stops in writing? So that our sentences become clearer to read and understand. Yes, so that we may be able to comprehend with the sentence or a paragraph. All right. Now, some of the principal punctuation marks are given here. So, 11 punctuation marks are here. The first, full stop or period. The second, comma. Third, semicolon. Fourth, colon. Fifth, question mark. Sixth, exclamation mark. Seventh, inverted commas. Eighth, dash. Ninth, hyphen. 10th, apostrophe. 11th, parenthesis. All right, so we'll move to the first one that is the full stop. What does it represent? It represents the greatest pause and separation. Okay, means the greatest pause and separation in a sentence. It is used to close a statement or a command. And the first one is to close a statement or a command. The example has been given over here. The first one is the statement, and the next one, second one, is a command. The second point, after abbreviation for titles, names, degrees, etc. You can see it in the example over here. Dr. A.K. Singh, then M.A., then C.M. They are all titles, names, and degrees. Now, the third point is to indicate a decimal fraction. Decimal, you know about the decimal fraction in maths, isn't it? You have learned the decimal numbers. So here it is used to indicate a decimal fraction. So this was about the full stop. Now we will come to the next one, next punctuation mark, that is comma. Okay. So the comma is used to separate words in a list. It indicates the shortest pauses in a sentence. Means it indicates what? The shortest pause in a sentence. All right, the example has been given to you, and it also mark of words used in addressing people. The first one is to indicate shortest pause in a sentence, and the second is to mark off words used in addressing people. See children, here some of the examples are given. You look the examples very carefully. Nitin is faithful, comma loyal, comma honest and intelligent. These are the shortest pause in a sentence. And the second is to mark off words used in addressing people. Now the third one, the semicolon. The third punctuation mark is the semicolon. Now what does it represent? It represents a pause of greater importance than that shown by the comma. Means a comma, it indicates shortest pause, and semicolon, it represents a greater pause than the comma. Alright. Now first is, it is used to separate the clauses of compound sentences when they contain a comma, and the second to separate a series of loosely related clauses. So you must have heard the word compound sentences, isn't it? Simple, complex and compound. Alright. And it is used to separate the clauses of a compound sentences, and the second is to separate a series of loosely related clauses, and you will see the examples also. Now the next one, the colon. The next punctuation mark is the colon. The colon mark, it is used to, the first point is, it is used to introduce a list of something. Okay. So for example, the leader said that we should have 3 qualities, then the colon, then courage and so on. Alright. Means courage, strength and sincerity. Even sometimes we will the 3 states of matter. Okay, you will write the 3 states of matter, then you will give the list. After that colon are solid, liquid, gas. Okay, and then when the colon is used to separate 2 contrasting statements. Contrasting statements means what, children? What do you mean by contrast? Something different from the other. Okay. So, to introduce a list and to separate 2 contrasting statements. The next one, which is the 5th one, that is the question mark. So this is nothing new for you. Question mark, everyone knows when and why it is used, isn't it? The question mark is used instead of the full stop after a direct question. Okay, like, have you written your exercise? Question mark. But the question mark is not used after an indirect question. See here, whenever someone asks you directly, or some question is asked directly, then only a question mark is used. But if the sentence is asking indirect question, then the question mark will not be used. For example, it is given, he asked me whether I had written my exercise. Here also a question is asked by someone to someone, but here question mark is not used. Why? Because it is an indirect question. Okay. Now the sixth one, exclamation mark. This is very, again, another one, and it is very easy. It is used after interjections, exclamatory phrases, and sentences such as, example is given, ah, exclamation mark, how it rains, exclamation mark. See children, you know what is exclamatory in sentences. In the first chapter you must have learned about exclamation mark, and you know what is interjection. You must have studied in the classes, in the smaller classes, about interjections. So exclamation is used after such sentences. Okay. The seventh one is the inverted commas, or the other name of the inverted commas is known as quotation marks. And when it is used, when someone says a particular word, है ना, when someone says a particular word, so we put an exclamation mark. Here, I would rather die, he exclaimed, than join the oppressors of my country. So here the words or the sentences which are under the exclamation, or you can say quotation marks, are said by the people. That's why it is under quotation or inverted commas. Understood? All right, we'll move to the next one, that is the dash. The dash is used to introduce an explanation in the middle of a sentence. Here the first point is, it is introduced it is used to introduce an explanation in the middle of a sentence. So here example is given, when you explain something, okay, when you explain something in the middle of the sentence, then you use what? Dash. Okay. Here everybody dash, the spectators. So everybody here, what it explain, what it is indicating here, the spectators. Okay. And the journalist, you can see, dash, praised her performances. So who praised her performances? Journalist. All right. Then the second point that comes under the dash is used after a list of items when this list is followed by an explanation. Here again, friends, you can say friends, colleagues, relatives, dash, none came to his help. Here, who did not came to his help? Friends, colleagues, and relatives. So you can say in other terms that dash is used whenever something is explained in the middle of a sentence. Okay. Now the next one is the hyphen. So the hyphen is used, the first one in writing the compound words, and the second compound adjectives. Okay. Don't get confused between hyphen and dash, because the hyphen is a shorter line than the dash, and it is used to connect the parts of a compound word, or you can say compound words or compound adjectives. Examples are given over here. Now the next one is the apostrophe. Apostrophe is used to show possession and to indicate contractions. Okay. What does this apostrophe does? It is used to show some letters or letters that has been omitted. Okay. And to show possession. You must have learned about possessive noun, isn't it? In that also possessive in that also you must have heard about apostrophe, isn't it? So here it is used to show possession or indicate contractions. Examples are here: don't, can't, the women's club, the children's mother. Now the last one of the punctuation is parenthesis. Parenthesis, um, in other words, you can say or double dashes. Okay. Actually, this parenthesis is used to separate the main parts of the sentence of a sentence or a phrase or a clause which does not grammatically belong to it. Now here, children, you can see here where example is given: when my parents left for Japan, it was 9 years ago. It is in the bracket. I was only a baby. He will come to you on Friday. Then again in bracket 15th Friday. Then Friday is in bracket of this month. Here parenthesis is used to separate the main, remember this children, the main part of the sentence. What does it mean? What does it separates? The main part of the sentence or a phrase. Actually, parenthesis is a use of bracket. Okay, that's why I told you na double dashes, or it is the use of a bracket. Okay, actually parenthesis enclose a single word or a phrase or even an entire sentence. Okay, the words inside the parenthesis provides you extra information about something. Okay, the brackets here in the example, you can see when my parents left for Japan, I was only a baby. But here inside the bracket, it was 9 years ago. It is an extra information, isn't it? So this is parenthesis. Then the use of capital letters. This is nothing new for you children. You know when and where the capital letters are used. When it is used, yes, to begin a sentence. Whenever we begin a sentence, we will always begin with a capital letter. Alright? The second point, to begin each fresh line of poem or poetry. Alright? Whenever we begin each line, even you can see each line. If you write a poem, many times even in the exams you make mistakes children, but this is the correct way of writing a poem, that whenever you change the line of the poem, you should always begin with what? Capital letter, not small letter. Okay, many of you make mistakes while checking, I came to know this time also, but keep this thing in mind: whenever you change the line of poem, or means one line you have written and the next line you have to write, not next stanza, I'm telling about the changing of line. Okay, you will always start with what? Capital letter. All right, the third one, to begin all proper nouns and adjectives. So the next point is proper nouns. Okay, it will always start with what? Capital letter. And adjectives. And for all nouns and pronouns which indicate God. Also, all the nouns and pronouns which indicate God will always start with capital letter. For example, O God, thou art merciful, the Lord, these are all what? The words will start with capital letters. And the fifth point is to write the pronoun I and interjection O. So we know that I, me, mine, it is the first person pronoun, isn't it? I. So whenever we will start the pronoun I, it will start with small letter? No, capital letter. and the interjection O. If it is interjection, so it will be followed by what? Exclamation mark. All right. So this was all about this chapter, punctuation. We'll move to the exercises. Here, these are the exercises, children. Try to answer it in your own. First, you try to do the exercises by yourself, and after doing it, after you do, the answers will be provided to you. First, try to do. It's very easy. For example, the first one, a period is also called full stop, isn't it? Answer will be full stop. You will tick in front of the full stop. That is option B. We use dash after indirect questions. We use question mark. Question mark or full stop? I have taught you. Yes. Question mark is used only when direct questions are asked, isn't it? But indirect questions are asked, then what we will use? Full stop. Yes. So the answer will be A, full stop. Okay. So likewise, you will choose the correct answers and do it by yourself. Answers will be provided to you very soon. This is the B, exercise B. You may take the screenshot and try to do it. Those who have the book, you may do it in the book. Practice it in the book. And those who don't have the book, you may practice it in any rough copy or in a diary. But try to attempt the exercises. Try it by yourself. Answers will be provided by us. Here, this is the C part. You have to punctuate and use capital letters in the given paragraph wherever required. I will read it to you, this one. Are you all alone, my son? Asked a soft voice close behind me. I looked up and saw a woman standing near me. She was leaning over, and I saw a pale face and dark, kind eyes. She was not wearing any jewels and was dressed very simply in white sari. Yes, I am going to school, I said, and stood up respectfully. I have been watching you for some time, she said. Didn't your parents come to see you off? I don't live here, I said. I had to change trains. Anyway, I can travel alone.